Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Are we all ready to start? Can everybody wave their hand to me? Are you all ready to start? Wonderful. Can everybody see my screen? Wave your hand if you can see my screen. Fantastic. All right, welcome to BizTalk. Today, we're going to talk about the obstacles people face in running a business and making money. All right. Okay. I just want to check. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me, Mary? Fantastic. So, what are the obstacles people face in running a business today? Well, the biggest obstacle is having enough money to run the business. The biggest obstacle is having the financial capacity to run the business. Okay. And that's the biggest problem that people have today, having enough money to run the business. And a lot of businesses actually run short of having enough money. Let me talk to you all and see how many of you here have a business. How many of you have a business? Put your hand up if you own a business. Put your hand up, everyone. Who owns a business? Come on, put your hand up if you own a business. Put your hand up if you own a business. Okay, let's talk to someone. Okay, let's talk to Elmon. Hi, Elmon. You want to talk to me, Elmon? Can you unmute your microphone? Hi, Elmon. Are you there, Elmon? Okay. Elmon has disappeared. Hi, Nelson. How are you? Talk to me, Nelson. Hello, Nelson. Hi, Nelson.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon,
Hi.
and everyone, right?
Good afternoon. Welcome to BizTalk. Nelson, have you ever run your own business?
Yes, actually, I was based in Hong Kong, but I have
Yes.
my buy and sell lands in the Philippines.
Yes.
Buy and sell, yes.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So when you ran a business, did you have any problem? Did you have any problem actually making sure you have enough money, having enough money
Ye-
to run the business? Did you ever have money problems?
So far, so good, sir, now.
Okay, so most of us basically, okay, most of you basically know that running a business requires money. Thank you, Nelson. And Nelson would know that running a business has responsibilities. Running a business requires people to actually have enough money to pay the bills for the business, to pay salaries, right? As Nelson will tell you. So running a business requires certain responsibilities. A lot of businesses today fail because when they start a business, they don't have enough money to run the business. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Put your hands up. Thank you very much. All right. So today we're going to talk about what happens when you run out of money in order to run the business. There is things that happen, and it happens because usually you're not ready to run a business. Leonora, hi Leonora. Can you open your microphone, Leonora? How are you? Open your microphone. Go ahead, Leonora. Can you open your microphone? Are you there? Are you there, Leonora? Would you like to talk to me,
Yes, sir.
Leonora?
Yeah,
Okay,
yes,
have you
sir.
ever run a business before?
Yes, sir. Until now.
Fantastic. So you've run a business and you're running a business. Have you ever faced a problem where
Yes, sir.
have you ever
Yeah.
faced a problem running the business?
Yes, sir.
Right,
Because I
okay.
start Mhm. Because I
Tell me
started
about
my
it.
business. I started my business as 2019, and then after a few months, and then it started the
Right, and what
COVID-19.
happened?
Yeah.
What happened when COVID started? You
I
found
have to
you found
I have to use my own money to run. And
Right. And what
then,
happened
yeah,
eventually? You ran short of money, you had problems paying the bills, and you were afraid to continue
yeah,
running the
yeah,
business?
yes, sir. I have to use my own money to run to pay the rent and another bills. And then after that, eventually, become okay, sir. I think I struggled 5 months.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Very good. Thank you for that. And everybody did that during COVID. Millions of business actually struggled because a lot of them started the business, but when COVID struck, they did not have enough money to run the business. They were not financially stable to run the business. And that's one of the things that we all face on a daily basis. So running the business is something that requires more than just opening a business. Let's look at it and let's learn more about what it takes. Here we go. Okay, can everybody see my screen? You can all see my screen? Okay, fantastic. Here we go. All right, so shortage of money is something that people face every day in business. And this means that when you're running the business, you will find that you don't have money to pay your salary, or you don't have enough money to actually pay for stock to bring more stock into your warehouse. You might find that sales were very slow this month and you run short of money. So a shortage of money in business is when you face financial constraints in running the business in order to meet your obligations. And it causes you a problem to grow your business. And all of this will depend on the market you're in. It will depend on what sort of business you're in. So, what are the reasons for businesses failing? Well, it's very simple. The biggest business failure, or the biggest reason for failure, ladies and gentlemen, is usually because the business actually is not serving the customers or satisfying their need. The business wasn't planned properly and they're not selling the right product or service that people need, or they started the business without having enough money to run the business. Lack of financing. Lack of financing is the biggest issue that businesses fail in the world today. Most businesses usually fail because of lack of finance. And lack of finance is caused usually because there was no proper plan in starting the business, or the business was started in the wrong place at the wrong time. The other reason is that some business owners decide to grow the business too quickly and don't have enough money to do that. And this is a reason why businesses fail. Let's go on. Okay, so shortage of money usually happens because you don't have enough money in cash to run the business, that when you started the business, you did not have enough capital to run it, or you have only a limited amount of capital, and that amount of capital does not allow you to bring in new products or services, and it reduces your ability to invest in more products, more services, or to grow your business. And usually, if you don't have enough money and you can't spend money in order to make money, it means you have cash flow constraints. That means you don't have enough cash at the time to pay your salaries. You don't have enough cash to buy more stock to sell your customers, and you don't have money to invest in the business. And that means that you're putting yourself at an increased level of financial risk. Now, what happens if the business runs out of money? What happens? Can anybody tell me? Say you have a business and you run out of money, what happens? Who can put up their hand and tell me? Put up your hand and tell me. What happens? Okay, go ahead, Elmon. What happens if you run out of money when you're running a business? Go ahead, Elmon.
Usually, you'll be filing for bankruptcy, and you'll also be in a lot of debt. Basically,
Fantastic. Fantastic. You'll file for bankruptcy, you'll be in a lot of debt, and you may lose any money you've invested in the business. Would that be right, Elmon?
yes, sir.
So you would agree with me, Elmon, that a lot of people start a business investing the money in their savings if they don't have someone to finance the business for them. And a lot of entrepreneurs usually start the money with their own capital. They need to prove a track record before they can get somebody to invest in their business. And what happens is, due to insufficient money when they start, what will happen eventually, they will not have enough money to continue, and they will become financially insolvent. And as Elmon said, either have to close the business down or declare bankruptcy to their creditors. Thank you, Elmon. Okay,
Welcome, sir.
so these are all things that business people face on a regular basis. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Fantastic. Okay, let me go on. Okay, so as I said, insufficient money, limited financial flexibility, you don't have resources to get more money, you don't have the cash flow to pay for stock or pay salaries, and you are continually growing a lot more liabilities or debts and financial risk that you can no longer cater to satisfy. Eventually, you will either have to become insolvent or close the business and liquidate its assets to settle your debts. All right, okay, let's go on. Okay, so just before I go on, does everybody understand what I mean by insolvent? Does everybody understand what insolvency means? It means becoming bankrupt, not having the money to run a business. That means that in your own country, you would seek protection from the legal system so people know that your business is insolvent. And this is something that people don't want to do. Okay, let me explain more about that as we go forward. Okay. All right, so moving on to that, all of these things have a reason. It could be because you did not plan correctly. You did not have enough money in the bank when you started. It could be because, as a part of not planning or understanding the business, you did not have enough money when you started in order to run the business for several months. It could be that you keep buying stock and credit, and every time your customers pay you, you use the money to pay salaries rather than pay for your stock. And eventually your suppliers stop providing you goods to sell. You could have unexpected expenses. For example, COVID-19 came and you're not selling as much product, so you need to be able to cover your expenses. And last but not least, somebody in your company was misappropriating money or stealing money, or there was fraudulent activity in your business, which meant you were not able to use the money you're earning from your customers. So shortage of money could be very simple. You had inadequate working capital when you started, and you did not have enough to pay the bills to continue running the business. You don't have any credit facility where you can borrow money, and there was no one that was prepared to invest in your business. that it's taking too much time for you to generate revenue because you don't have enough customers buying your product, or your customers are not paying you on time. And last but not least, you don't have the money in order to grow your business, in order to generate more income. You have investment constraints. So what this means for you as a business, it reduces your growth. You have a limited ability to grow your business and attract more customers. It means that you cannot get enough stock and send it to your customers because you're waiting for your suppliers to give you stock. And that means your efficiency is limited. It means that a business owner, you're continuously worried about having enough money to run the business, and the people who work for you are worried about their job security. Can I ask you, if you work for a company and they do not pay your salary, do you feel safe? No. Has anybody worked for a company and not got their salary on time? Put your hand up. Put your hand up if you never received your salary on time. Okay, let's talk to Miss Esperanza. Hi. Hello, Ma Esperanza. How are you? Unmute your microphone for me, Ma Esperanza. Are you there, Ma?
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you today? Hello? All right, who
Yes,
wants to
hello.
talk to
Good
me?
morning.
Hi, can you on your
Hello.
camera, please? Yeah, who are you? Who's talking to me? Ma Esperanza? Hi,
Yes,
who's
I am.
talking to me? Hi, okay, Ma, tell me, have you ever had any problems getting your salary from a company?
I had one problem. Actually, it was
Right.
only recently. I
Yeah.
worked with my new employer as
Yes.
a director of recruitment and legalization, but I haven't received my salary on time. And it was
All
very,
right,
very
great.
disappointing.
Excellent. All right. So you had a problem. Did you feel comfortable when you didn't have enough money to pay you didn't have money because of no salary? No, you didn't, right? Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So now Ma Esperanza and all of you understand that when people work for you as a business owner, they expect you to be able to pay their salary. Does everybody understand that? Can you wave your hands for me? Come on, everybody wave your hands. Very good. Excellent. Okay, let me go on. Okay, so as I said, if you don't have enough money, you can't pay salary. People are not comfortable working for you. They become less productive. They're not motivated to come to work. And if people don't come to work on time because they didn't get their salary, the efficiency of your business slows down. Customers will not get their stock on time. You will not be able to buy enough stock to supply your customers. You will not be able to market your business or promote your business. And people will feel very stressed. All right, so what happens when you run out of money? It's very simple. You're unable to supply goods to your customers. You're unable to pay your suppliers, and that means your suppliers will refuse to supply you further, and your business reputation will be damaged due to negative reviews from suppliers or from customers who have bought your product and you have failed to deliver to them. And you will have a reputation where your brand has been damaged. So, in order for this not to happen, the biggest reason that this happens to most people is because they failed to have a plan when they started their business. They failed to have a strategy. They failed to have a business plan in place. In order to run a business, you first must have an effective business plan. You must have a plan that sets out how you're going to manage your business, how you're going to run your business, and how you're going to finance your business. Like a GPS, when you go out, you go to a shopping mall and you don't know how to use or how to reach the shopping mall, you usually use Google to search your way to go to the shopping mall. Google Map shows you, it gives you directions. And that's the same in running a business. You must have directions on how to run the business. You must understand what are the policies or the strategies I'm going to follow. How much salary do I need to pay? How much money do I need to have to buy stock? All of this is part of an effective business plan. And sadly, the majority of businesses around the world fail is because that when they started, they failed to plan. The reasons you need a business plan are to avoid running out of money. It's to reduce the risk of running your business. It's to understand who your customers are, where they come from, and what they want. It's to be able to test your business idea before you invest your money in it. And also to help you get finance from investors who might want to invest money in your business. No one will lend you money. No one will invest money in your business if you don't show them a business plan or a business strategy. When you set up a business, you need to know what will happen if I run out of stock and don't have stock. Who will help me pay for my stock if I don't have enough money? How much stock do I have to have in my warehouse? How much money do I have to keep the business working for at least 6 months if I don't make a profit during the first 6 months or 1 year? Do I have enough money to keep the business going? And you need to understand the market that you're going into. Are you selling the product in the right country to the right people who can afford your product? Or did you go into the business without knowing who your customers are? Does everybody remember that in the past, we've spoken about understanding your customer? Does everybody remember that? We've spoken about being customer-centric. Does everybody remember what we learned about the 5 elements of understanding your customer and being customer-centric? Yes or no? Put your hand up if you remember that. Akhtar, do you remember that, Akhtar? Hi, Akhtar. Are you there, Akhtar Hussain? Can you unmute your microphone, Akhtar? Akhtar, do you remember what we said about being customer-centric?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Customer centric. Any business is must be customer centric business. Otherwise,
All right.
customer is feeling fastest or feeling uneasy.
Right. So when we say about being customer centric, the business has to put itself in the customer's shoes and understand what the customers want. They have to be product centric. You have to have done your research to understand what product the customer wants and what sort of product you need to offer for your customer to buy from you and not your competitor. You need to understand how much the customer can afford to spend on your product or service. You need to understand what sort of level of service the customer expects for them to do business with you. Do they want to come to your shop and buy it, or are they happy to buy your product or service online? And last but not least, you have to be market centric. You have to understand which market is the right country for you to do business in. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Can you wave your hands for me, everyone? Okay, so if you are not market centric, if you are not product centric, if you are not customer centric, And if you don't understand what your customers want before you open a business, your business will fail. And all of this is part of having a business plan. How many of you here opened a business without a plan? Can you put your hand up? How many opened a business without having a plan? Okay, okay, let's talk to Ninram. Hi, Ninram. Can you unmute your microphone? Are you there, Ninram? Hi.
Oh, yes. Hi.
Okay, can you tell me,
Hello.
did you start a business without having a plan?
So I raised my hand because I'm working outside, so I need to off camera. That's why I raised
Okay,
my
that's
hand.
fine. That's fine. You're
Yes.
welcome to do that. Welcome to BizTalk. You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Thank you. Okay. All right. So most people start a business, but a lot of them fail because they don't have enough money to run the business. Hello, Leonora. Do you want to talk to me, Leonora? Can you unmute your microphone, Leonora? Leonora
Yes, sir.
Corpaz? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you start a business without a plan?
Yes, sir.
And tell me what happened without a plan.
Actually, I just want to have a own business that's all only, and then I started like buying slowly, and then at the end, and then at the end, the problem is the salary for the worker, and after that, so I have to use my own money because I
Right.
don't have really plan. What I know only is I
So,
want
all
to
right.
have a business.
So you learnt that running a business requires a plan. Would you agree with me?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Hopefully today you'll learn about that. And the next time you run a business, or right now, you can start planning on how to improve your business. All right, let's keep going. Thank you. Okay, so the reasons you need a plan are to reduce the risk, to understand your potential market, to attract people to invest in your business, to be able to understand what will you do if for some reason this month you don't make enough sales. Will you still have enough money to pay the people who work for you? Will you still have enough money to market your business? And you need to be able to forecast what your expenses will be for at least the first 6 or 12 months. Because if you don't have enough money to employ people to help you run the business, or you don't have enough money to buy stock or promote your business will fail. All right. Just give me a minute, please. All right. Let me find out why it's hanging. Just bear with me, please. Okay, all right. So running a business, guys, requires you to take certain steps. It requires you to be connected. You need to understand what happens. You need to understand that running a business requires you to think out of the box, okay? Because if you don't plan and you don't think out of the box and understand the market you're going to, you will fail. You need to have an open mindset. You need to understand what the business requires you in order to run the business. You need to understand what it means if for any reason you fail. You need to understand that you need to have what's called an open mindset in order to be able to continue and not give up. For example, Leonora starts a business and halfway through she runs out of money and gives up. So that means she says to herself, I failed. I'm giving up. She loses all her money. Okay, so you need to actually have a plan. You need to have a plan that will allow you to avoid challenges, that will allow you to have a plan on how to run the business, and you need to be able to be able to correct your mistakes as you go along. You need to be able to ignore negative feedback, and you need to not feel threatened about running your business or making mistakes, especially if you don't have enough money or you find yourself short of money to continue. So most people have a problem, not only because they don't have enough money up front, but they have a fixed mindset. And a fixed mindset means that they are not ready to meet the challenges of running a business. And this happens because they didn't have a plan, they thought they know everything, and they tried to start their own business. And these are some of the biggest mistakes that business entrepreneurs make. All right. So you need to understand, you need to have the right skills to run a business. You need to be able to meet the challenges required to have a business. You need to be able to put in the right effort. You need to listen to feedback, and you need to be able to prepare for setbacks. And, mindset is about making sure you actually have enough money to run the business before you start it. If you say to yourself, oh, listen, I have $2,000, I'll try and see what happens. That is a fixed mindset, and you will fail, because some things that you need to do to avoid getting into trouble is some things that you need to plan for before you start the business. So what do we need to have in order to set up a business or have a successful business strategy? First thing we need to do is we need to have a growth mindset. We need to actually have the motivation to think beyond today. We need to be prepared to learn and have what we call a level of persistence. You need to have a mindset where you're prepared to deal with the issues and continue improving them. Failure illuminates areas for improvement and is seen as an opportunity to embrace and continue working. All right. So having an open mindset means that you will not give up. You will not feel ashamed. You will be persistent and fight. Growth mindset. Okay, individuals and business may greatly differ in their foundational talents. For example, you must understand, do you know how to run this business? What skills you need to run the business? And if you don't have that skill, are you going to have somebody there to help you? Because if you don't have this mindset, the first week, the first month, a customer complains, or the supplier says to you, you need to pay me in advance before I give you more product. You may not be able to handle that, and you will lose any money you've invested. So before you open a business, the first part of setting up a business plan or a business strategy is for you to have a growth mindset and for you to be able to understand the challenges you're going to face. You have to be able to understand that during running a business, every day you're going to encounter either financial concerns or concerns in selling your product, or people will complain that your product is too expensive or find that your product is not what they're looking for. So you have to be able to deal with these challenges on a daily basis and have what's called the mindset to grow your business. COVID-19 caused disruption for everyone. COVID-19 meant that thousands of businesses around the world faced failure. They faced failure because they relied on people coming to their store. They relied on people coming to the shop and buying the product. Companies all over the world did not plan on having lockdowns. Some businesses did not even have a website. and they found it difficult to survive because when they opened the business, they did not consider what will happen one day if customers can't come to my shop and buy my product. Does everybody understand what I mean by having a growth mindset before you open a business? Can everybody wave their hands to me? Wave your hands if you understand that. How many of you have a growth mindset? Put your hand up if you have a growth mindset, everyone. If you have a positive mindset, put your hand up. Put your hand up now, everyone. Very good. Raquel has a growth mindset. Okay, good. All right. Can I ask you, Carmela, do you have a growth mindset, Carmela? Where are you, Carmela? Can you open your microphone and talk to me, Carmela? Unmute yourself. Go ahead, Carmela. Unmute your microphone. Hi, Carmela. Tell me about your mindset. Do you have Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I think I'm starting to have a growth mindset because I'm looking at the opportunities to grow persistently and checking what are the things that I am weak yet, but then I need to make it as my strength.
Fantastic. Excellent. Excellent. So you have a growth mindset, you have growth mindset opportunities, and from that, you're basically ready to learn and to develop your business. Is that right? Yes or no? Fantastic. Excellent. All right. So a growth mindset is very important. Let me go on. Okay. So remember that in order to have a growth mindset, you need to understand what is required to have a business, and you need to be positive about it. And this means you need to plan before you open a business. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Yes or no? Okay, good. All right. So strategies to overcome the problems you're going to face in business are part of your business plan, and they require you to have a growth mindset. Very good. Okay, let me just check. Chien Dutt Win. Hi, Chien. Are you there? Do you understand what I mean by a growth mindset, Chien? Talk to me, Chien. All right.
Can you
so,
hear me?
yes, of course. Do you understand what a growth mindset in business is?
Well, to my understanding, that growth mindset is a mindset that you can adapt and grow.
Very good. And by
Yeah.
that, you need to be able to face challenges rather than give up. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I totally agree with that.
Thank you very much. All right, let me go on. Okay, so all right, so part of running this business, just bear with me for a moment, guys. We're having a problem with this working. Just hold on, will you? Just one moment. All right, let me just get this screen working, and we'll go on. All right, so okay, here we go. All right, so part of this, part of embracing it, or part of having the growth mindset, people need to reimagine themselves. They need to reimagine what business is about. They need to be prepared to improvise and be agile. They need to have small but a high performance level of motivation, or a team of people they work with. And they need to reimagine themselves before they try to reimagine the business. Now, a lot of people during COVID-19 had to reimagine their business because they hadn't done that when they planned to open their business. All right, they hadn't done that, so their business has failed. So reimagining is something that you need to do before you open a business. You need to stop thinking as an individual. You need to start thinking as a business person. Okay, so a deeper sense of imagination. Ask yourself, what do I need to do in this business to be successful? And that must be part of your business plan. You need to replan. You need to ask yourself, all right, I'm going to give up my day job. I'm going to invest all my money in setting up a business. Do I have the right business model? Have I actually learned about the business opportunities I want to open? Do I know which markets are suitable for me and how I'm going to actually go into those markets? Do I understand the customers that I'm going to serve, or do I need to do more research to learn about my customers? Do I need to know more about putting myself in my customers' shoes, or have I already done that? You need to focus on what you're going to do and how you're going to run the business, because most businesses are compelled to change, whether they need to change because they face problems, the wrong product, unreliable product, the wrong pricing point, or because COVID-19 comes again. All of these are things that you need to plan for before you go into business. Remember that some businesses go into the market, but they don't have a website, they don't have e-commerce, and it's because they haven't planned correctly. Thousands of food businesses around the world failed during COVID-19 because they could no longer have people come to their restaurant because people couldn't leave their house. So unless you had a website where people could order food and you could deliver it, or unless you were part of a food delivery platform, you would fail and you would have gone out of business. Some businesses had to quickly develop a website or quickly put their business online. They lost money because they weren't ready and they had to replan and refocus, because when they opened the business, they did not have a proper business plan. And as a result of that, they couldn't sell enough product or service, and they became a victim of financial liquidity. So they have to reinvent their goals. They have to understand what it takes to be a business, and they have to have clear goals about what sort of business they need to run, how much money they need to have, and they need to understand what type of customers they need to serve first, and what sort of product or quality those customers expect. All right, let's talk to some people here and see if you understand what we're explaining today. All right, so how many of you here can tell me about the business or what sort of mindset you need in business? Who wants to talk to me? All right, let's talk to Marika. Marika, are you there? Can you unmute your microphone, Marika? Hi, Marika. Are you there, Marika? Hi, how are you today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me, are you running a business, or do you plan to run a business in the future?
I already have a business from Philippines already there.
All right, and did you have a plan when you started? Did you plan on how you're going to run the business when you started, or did you start the business and learn along the way?
It's been that business is coming from our inheritance of my mother.
Yes.
So I just continue doing it. So until now, it's still running from business in Philippines.
And have you created a business plan for yourself so you can make the business more profitable?
Not yet so far yet, sir.
So you want to learn from me how to do that. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Very good. Thank you very much. Very good. And Marika, listen, today and in the next Biz Talk, you're going to learn how to develop a business plan, and you'll be able to use my template. And if you need any help, you can come back to me and I'll help you. Would that make it better for you, Marika? Are you there? Okay, great. Excellent. Let me talk to somebody else. What about Jacqueline? Hi, Jacqueline. Jacqueline Limbo. Hi, Jacqueline. You want to unmute your microphone, Jacqueline? Hello, Jacqueline. Where are you from? Hi, Jacqueline. Can you unmute your microphone? Hello, where are you from?
Philippine.
And Jacqueline, do you have your own business?
For now, no.
All right. And is it something you want to do eventually in the future?
Yes.
Very good. So remember, when you start a business, you need a plan. You need to reimagine what you think, and you need to make that so powerful that you understand what you're going to do and how to do it. You need a growth mindset. Do you understand what I mean by that, Jacqueline?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you so much. All right.
Yeah.
So let me go on, ladies and gentlemen. So as I've said already, you need to basically reimagine what you want to do. Make sure you analyze it carefully by understanding the 5 elements of being customer-centric, putting yourself in your potential customer's shoes, asking yourself, who is my customer? And what sort of customer are they? How much money do they make? Will they be able to afford my product? Then you have to be customer-centric. And that is part of the first level of customer centricity. Understand your customer, put yourself in their shoes. Number 2, you have to understand what your customer can afford. You have to ask yourself, if I sell my product to 16-year-old schoolgirls, how much can they pay for my product? If I sell myself to working adults in the Philippines, how much can they afford to spend on my product every month? How much can they spend? Do they have $1,000 to spend every month? You have to understand, what sort of product do these people want? Will they want my product? Do they want to buy my product? Or what sort of product are they looking for? What do I have to offer them before they're prepared to buy it? And next one is, who are my customers? Are they Filipino market? Are they teenagers all over the world? And what sort of service do they expect? All of these are elements you have to reimagine by doing your homework before you set up a business. All right, so reinventing means coming up with new ideas and making your business more attractive than your competitor's business. And you need to learn how to recover if you have to. If for today you open a business, you have $20,000 in the bank. After 3 months, you've already used that $20,000. You've used it to build a website. You've used it to pay salaries. You've used it to buy stock. But you need more money to promote your business so more people can buy your stock. Do you have enough money? And if you don't, how are you going to deal with that? All right, so scaling up means needing to have enough money or resources to scale up your business and serve more customers. A lot of customers found this very hard during COVID-19. A lot of businesses found it very hard to deliver the product to their customers because they didn't have an e-platform. They didn't have a website. And as a result, businesses that were not able to recover actually went out of business. The person who started the business lost all their money. Okay, so you need to be able to seize opportunities. You need to have a global open mindset where you're able to know how much money you need. You're able to come up with new ideas to generate more money. You're able to nurture and support the business for at least 6 to 12 months before you start. Look at the airline industry. Let's talk about the airline industry. Does everybody here has been on a plane, right? Everybody's been on a plane? Put your hand up if you've been on a plane. All right, so during COVID-19, airlines were no longer carrying passengers because passengers couldn't travel to other countries. passengers didn't have enough money to travel. Does everybody understand that? Passengers didn't have any money. So passengers didn't have any money to travel because two things. They couldn't work. They were under lockdown. Employers delayed their salaries, but airlines couldn't take passengers because passengers could not travel unless they wore a mask, or they couldn't travel because other countries wouldn't allow them in because there was a lockdown. So COVID-19 paralyzed the airline industry. Airlines had to find new ways to generate business. So they had to stop flying passenger flights. They had to reduce their passenger flights, but also they had to try to earn more money flying cargo so they could still pay the salaries of the people who worked for them. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay, so these airlines, after 2 years of COVID, and after suffering and having aircraft parked because they couldn't fly it, because there was no passengers, after COVID finished, they had to try to bring these aircraft back into service. They had already lost a lot of their staff, captains, flight attendants, because during COVID, they couldn't afford to pay their salaries. So after COVID, they have to find a way to attract people to fly with them again. Two things had to happen. They either had to bring in more flights, they could reduce the cost of their flights by starting discount airlines, okay, budget airlines, and by quickly actually coming up with attractive destinations. So after COVID-19, people were ready to spend money flying again. They did. There was discount airlines opened all over the world, budget airlines where you can fly low cost. Instead of paying to fly Philippine Airlines, you could fly a discount airline, a budget airline where you get a seat, no in-flight entertainment, no food. If you want food, you have to pay for it. All of these are ways that the airline industry actually had to deal with the problems they faced during COVID-19. Does everybody understand this? Could you wave your hands to me, please? Very good. Excellent. Let me share my screen. Okay, so airlines needed to generate business. Airlines needed to be resilient by increasing their cash reserves. How did they do that? They actually started taking cargo on board. They actually started flying cargo. Okay, so in order to fly cargo, they actually had to generate more money, reduce the costs of carrying the cargo to get the cargo business, or make sure they flew to airports that were open for cargo. For example, in China, factories closed. So airlines rushed to actually carry whatever cargo out of China to other countries because they knew once the factories were closed, there would be no more cargo out of China. Okay, so during or just after COVID-19, the airline industry started wondering, how do we get back? How do we slowly get the business back? So they decided that after COVID-19, many people hadn't earned a salary or they became unemployed. Can they afford to fly? So there was two types of customers. Customers who had money and wanted to fly, who would still pay for a full service airline, and those that couldn't. And that's what brought on discount or budget airlines. Okay, look at the distribution industry. Look at people who deliver goods to you. Amazon, during COVID-19, Amazon continued to deliver goods. Amazon grew its business some 25 times during COVID-19 because people could not go out. Amazon had planned. They had warehouses in different countries and they could still deliver products to their customers. And that's why their business grew. But for other businesses where they didn't have an e-commerce market, they didn't have warehouses in every country, they failed. Look at the semiconductor business. Look at people who make computer chips. Look at people who make technology for artificial intelligence. Companies who sell more advanced technology, whether in the semiconductor business or in the computer chip business. After COVID-19, their business grew because new products, new innovations came out. People became more focused on technology. And that means to actually make cars artificially intelligent, they needed AI technology. So the technology companies that produced the AI chips or the technology were able to win over the big manufacturers so they could install it in their cars and vehicles. Healthcare industry needs technology. And the healthcare suffered during COVID-19 because they had thousands of customers come to hospitals for treatment. And some hospitals in some countries didn't have the technology to manage their customers. They didn't have SMS. They didn't have websites where they could communicate with their customers to reschedule their appointments or allow customers to order their medication. Now they have. Does everybody understand what I'm talking about? Could you wave your hands to me? Wave your hands to me. Very good. So it's very important when you go into business that before you go into any business, that you're able to have the right ideas about how you're going to run your business. Today, if you want to go into business and you don't have an e-commerce platform, you will fail. Does everybody understand that? Can you wave your hands to me? Okay, very good. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so running a business, no matter what industry you're in, whether you're in the healthcare industry or whether you're in the food business, means that you need to be able to set up a business which is more intelligent in order to survive. You need to be computer or technology driven. You need to be intelligent or have the intelligent capabilities for you to manage your business dynamically, because you need to be globally resilient. And the only way you can be globally resilient to avoid running into financial issues is by having a very, very detailed business plan and by understanding what you need to make that business resilient before you start. So let's talk about what is required. A lot of businesses start a business without a plan. And what happens when their business runs into trouble, they have to try to deal with crisis. They either run out of money, they decide to close and lose their investment, or they have no money to pay for stock. They have already received money from their customers. They have no stock to deliver. They don't have the money to refund their customers. Their brand gets tarnished. No one will buy from them. This is because they failed to plan and don't understand how to deal with crisis when it happens. An effective business plan is something that should be based on current data about the market you're going into. It should include specific information about the business, as well as other details such as the industry you want to go into or the audience you want to sell your product to. For example, if I wanted to open an online store to sell clothing, what sort of information do you think I need to have? Who can answer me? Put your hand up. I want to open a clothing business. What sort of information do I need to have about my market and my customers before I start? Who can tell me? Come on, try. What about you? Danilo, what sort of information would you have to have before you opened a business, Danilo? Can you unmute your microphone, Danilo? Are you there, Danilo? Can you unmute your microphone? Okay, we've got a hand that's gone up. Okay, Ma Esperanza, go ahead. Unmute your microphone.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. What sort of things do you have to understand before you try to open a business selling clothes online? Go ahead.
Of course, the things that you must have is You got to know the trend. What are the fashion trends, or which are the categories or type of clients that you want to have? Is it
Okay, so
for
let's do this slowly. You have to understand who are your clients, how much they can afford, number one. You have to understand your customer, put yourself in their shoes. You have to understand the product or the design they want, correct? Is that correct, Ma Esperanza?
That is correct. Those
Very
are
good.
things that you
Go on.
must be able
What else
to-
do you have to have?
You also need to have if it's how will you deliver the clothes? You need to
Right, you
open
need
a
to understand.
or your
Yeah, okay. So you need to understand how you're going to run the market and how you're going to deliver the product or service. Is that right?
yes.
Very good. Excellent. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, running the business or understanding how to run the business is really important. Would you agree with that? Yes or no? Put your hand up. Very good. Excellent. Okay. All right. So let me go on. Okay. So remember, an effective business plan must take into consideration the product you're going to sell, who your customers are, which market or countries you're going to sell it in. Are you going to sell it online? Which online platform are you going to use? And how much money you need to do that for the first 12 to 24 months. So before you start a business, you need to have a vision. What sort of business do you want? What is your mission? Is your mission to be able to sell affordable clothing to people who can afford it in your country only, or you want to become an international player online? You need to have objectives. What are the objectives of your business? Do you want to have a very expensive brand, something that only the rich can buy, or you want to provide your fashion to teenagers and to everybody at an affordable price? What is your strategy? How are you going to do this? What is your long-term strategy? Are you going to design it? Are you going to have a factory in China make it for you? Are you going to buy your own fabric, or are you going to just buy fashion that's already been made in China and try to sell it? What is your approach? How are you going to execute your business? Are you going to put it on Amazon? Are you going to put it on Shopee? How are you going to sell your product? And what are the tactics? How many people will work for you, or are you going to run the business from your own home? You need to have a plan. A business plan means you need to understand what business you want to run. What is the side business? Is it a fashion business online? Is it a food business? You need to have a mission statement. A mission statement is a clear definition of what you want to do. I want to become the largest fashion e-commerce business in the Philippines or the world. You need to understand the background of your company. Where are you? How big is your company? How many people do you need to set it up? And how are you going to run it? What are the products you plan to sell based on your research and becoming product centric? How are you going to market the business through a marketing plan? You need to do competitor analysis to look at how is your product going to be better than your competitors. You need to do SWOT analysis. You need to have a plan on how you're going to operate the business. Are you going to buy the product from the manufacturer and have a warehouse in your own home, or are you going to sell it through an online e-commerce platform like Shopee or Amazon? And how much money do you need to do this? And do you have that money in the bank, or do you need to get money through an investor? And how long do you have money in the bank or reserve for? How much money do you have, and how long will this money be enough to keep your business running in the event that your product is not what the consumer wants? For example, in the first month, you buy $10,000 worth of product. Do you have enough money to pay salaries? What happens if you can't sell that product? Do you have enough money to buy different product or different designs? So the first step, you need to have an executive summary, a description of the business. You need to have a clear understanding of the markets that you want to sell the product in. What are the markets you want to go into? Which markets you want to go into? You need to do a strength, weakness, and opportunity and threat analysis. What are the strengths of your products in the market? What are the weaknesses that your product or business may face in that market? Is it because your product is the same as your competitor and not cheaper but more expensive? Is your product a better quality or it's not such a good quality compared to your competitors? What opportunities is there in the market? What is it that your young customers want that they can't find in the market that you can provide to them? And who are your threats? Now, remember, usually business entrepreneurs identify a problem in the market and try to fill that problem or satisfy that market. Do you understand what I mean by that, everyone? Yes or no? Very good. Thank you very much. So you need to establish a problem. If you don't identify a problem in the market, then you can't run the business. Does everybody understand that? If you don't identify a problem in the market, you cannot run the business because you have no problem to solve. No one will be interested in buying your product because it doesn't solve their problem. Your product is not better than your competitor. Your product is not as cheap as your competitor, or there is no reason why they should go from their current fashion provider to you. You don't offer them anything different. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands if you understand me, everyone. Very good. Excellent. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so you not only need to have done analysis and understood your market, you need to actually have a team that will help you run the business because you can't do everything yourself. If you have an online business and you put your business on Amazon or on Shopee, they will actually put their stock into their your stock into their warehouse. They will market it. They will dispatch it for you. They will deliver to the customer, and your product will become visible not only to people in the Philippines, but globally, increasing the number of customers you have at your exposure. Okay, but if you don't have Amazon or Shopee and you're going to market your product or service yourself, you need to ask yourself, do I have the right people? Do I have the resources to do it? Do I have the right logistics chain to deliver my customer the product, or how am I going to send the product to my customer? Am I selling the right product? Is my product something my customers want? And how am I going to market my product? Do I have someone to do social media marketing for me? Do I understand how to market my product myself? And how much is it going to cost me to do that? And last but not least, do I have enough money to do that and for my business to survive? All right, so this is placed as number 1 on our list of ingredients of a business plan. It's an executive summary. It's a summary of the key features of your business. It serves as an overview of your entire business and the elements surrounding it. And this must answer the 5 W's. Who are your customers? What do they want to buy from you? Why do they want to buy it? Where are they when they want to buy it? In which country or market? And when will they be able to buy it, or when do they want to buy it? Do they want to buy it online now, or they want to come to your brick and mortar shop? Do you have enough resources to deliver the product to these customers? Can you deliver it to them anywhere in the Philippines? Can you deliver it anywhere around the world? Or do you need to have an e-commerce platform that can do that for you? You need to think about why you're starting the business along with where you want the business to go. This must be clearly defined in your mission. You must also clearly define the organizations that all will live and work by. What business organization or what mission will your company deliver? Will you deliver good quality at a lower price, high quality at a higher price, or will you be there to deliver the best fashion to the young generation all over the world? You must have a clear mission statement. Okay, so let's talk about this company as an example, Paw Print. This was a sole proprietorship that sells customized greeting cards to people all over the world. Okay, Paw Print Post's ideal customer was basically women who wanted to print stuff for their dogs. They wanted to print on things that their dogs could wear, or they wanted souvenirs with their dog's name, especially for their dogs. So Paw Print was basically about personalizing items for their pets. Okay, and pre-launch, okay, they actually, before they actually went globally, they were actually generating $1,000 a month, okay, from the time they launched. Within 3 months of launch, they had actually started generating $1,000 a month. So what they had to do after that is continue growing the business, and now it's become a global business. All right, so they could only do that because they understood the market they wanted to go into. They knew the business structure. They knew that the business will be sold online. They knew that they wanted to be a company with limited liabilities. They don't want to be a sole proprietor and bear all the financial burden. They knew exactly what their business was going to do and the nature of their business and the industry they were going in. And Jane Matthews, the woman who started it, actually did all her research and understood what sort of people she needed. She needed a graphic designer to design before they print. They needed an art department. They needed staff to help distribute their product or pack and deliver their product to their customers before they became a global brand. So she understood everything she needed about the business before she started it. She had clear business objectives. All right. She will have Paw Print Posts ready to launch big important pet expo in Toronto to launch her business. So she actually planned to have enough money to do that. And she understood that if she presents her products in markets in different countries at expos or at trade fairs, she will generate income. She understood that she would be the only employee running the business full-time. She was prepared to give up her full-time job. So the next thing she needed to do was clearly describe her business and understand the products and services she will offer to her customers. And she needed to actually be able to describe that fluently so she could use that to actually get money from investors. This is part of her business plan. The markets of business will operate in. You need to understand which markets are you going into? How much money do you need to go into that market? What does the typical buyer look for in that market? And how much do they earn for them to be able to afford my product? How well have you checked that market? Can that market receive your product? Is your product legal in that market? And is your product so good that people will buy from you and you will disrupt your competitors? All of these questions are questions you must ask yourself before you go into business, and you must answer them in your business plan. All right, the markets the business will operate in. You need to clearly understand which countries you're going to operate in and why. You need to put yourself in your future customers' shoes by being customer-centric. You need to ask yourself, what have others done before you, and what are you going to do differently so you can take the business away from them and become more successful? You need to analyze all the information and make sure that you know what you're doing before you invest in a business. You need to do a competitor analysis, which is part of your market. You need to understand, if I'm going to sell t-shirts, how many other competitors are selling t-shirts in the same market, and what do I have to offer that will actually win the customers from my competitor? You need a description of your company's target market. You need details about your product and services compared to your competitor. You need to know what the current and projected market share in the countries you're going into are. You need to look at how many teenagers there is in your country that could potentially buy your product if you're selling clothing for teenagers. You need to understand how much will your market pay for your product compared to what they're paying now. And you need to understand how you're going to market it. Will you do it through social media? Do you understand social media, or how are you going to market it in social media? And what are the differences in the customers that you may attract in the Philippines compared to customers in other markets? Do you know how to market to different customers in different countries? You need to write down, who are your competitors? What do you know about them already? Who are their customers? And what do you need to do to win their customers? How are you going to price your product? And how are you going to show a competitive advantage so you can attract customers? For that, you need to actually come up with a business plan. You need to understand what the market is and develop a business plan. And in the next business talk, which is not next week, the week after, the subject will be how to write a business plan. And I will give you the templates and show you how to do it. And I will be there to help you to develop your own business plan. Okay, you need to do a SWOT analysis, and you will also learn that when I teach you how to write a business plan. The SWOT analysis will get you an opportunity to create a detailed list of what strengths your business has, what the strengths are of your competitors, what are your weaknesses, what are their weaknesses, and what opportunities do your competitors' weaknesses make available to you so you can win over their customers. This needs to be done before you start a business. You need to analyze your own business as well as that of your competitor. All right, so when you analyze your business, you need to look at your strengths. Who are you? What are your resources? And how much money you have. Do you have enough resources to run the business? Your strengths. You need to understand your threats. Who are your competitors? What can you do to actually win their customers? Can you meet their product quality and product price? And what do you need to do so they do not put you out of business? What are the threats? You need to understand what are their weaknesses and what are your weaknesses. You need to understand the opportunities. If your competitor is providing garments that are polyester and charging $20, is there opportunities to provide product made out of pure cotton and sell them at less than $20 to attract or win over your competitors' customers? Is your competitor's product old-fashioned? Can you come up with more fashionable items or better quality products? Are you going to provide a more innovative product to your customers? If you're going into selling fashion, are you going to enable your product to be bought online? Will customers be able to see themselves wearing your t-shirt through what we call artificial intelligence now? Can they actually take a photo of themselves using artificial intelligence and technology and then wear your t-shirt before they buy it? Is that some of the technology that you're going to offer your customers in order to attract them? For example, you can actually customize your Nike shoes and have them built especially for you by Nike before they deliver them. Are you going to allow your customers to customize their t-shirts through an app? Do you have the right technology? So let's talk about this. So when we look at our strengths, you need to understand, is the strength of our business having locally made shirts, which means faster turnaround on orders? Can we build many repeat customers and be able to attract them to buy from us regularly? And do we have a good search engine, which would be one of our strengths? Our weaknesses. Are we too expensive for our customers in the market we're in and therefore not competitive? Are our costs to produce our garments higher than that of our competitors, and therefore we need to charge a higher price, therefore people would not buy from us? Or is it that the customer doesn't like our product because they can't see it or try it on virtually before they buy it? These could be weaknesses. What are the opportunities? The opportunities are, we need to do something that your competitor's not doing by enabling them to be attracted to buy from you. Opportunities, providing them better quality at a lower price, or providing them technology where they can become very friendly with your product and try it on before they buy it. Who are your threats? Your competitors. If your competitors have an app that you don't have, if your competitors allow customers to buy through a website that you don't have, if your customers have a mobile app and attract people to buy through mobile apps which you don't have, they are threats that you need to cater for so you can win over the business. All right, you need to have the right people in place, the right people to run your business, the right staff to run your business, and the right team. You need to have the right business structure. You need to have the right products or services to meet your customers' demands. And you need to have the right marketing tools in place. What is the correct branding? How will you achieve the market? How much are you prepared to spend on marketing? What are the key messages that you want to communicate for your customers for them to be interested in looking at your products? And you need to have a financial plan. You need to understand how much money you need, and you need to be able to project over the next 12 months. You need to have at least 12 months money in your bank to keep your business going, notwithstanding any issues that you may have along the way. You need to be able to pay wages. You need to be able to pay for marketing, for branding, and to set up your business, warehousing, to pay for stock. How much money will you need to start up, and how much money will you need to keep the business open for 12 months? You need to understand the different strategy. There's different breeds of business strategy. You need to understand, are you a king strategist? have strong, well-focused ideas about where you want to take your business over the next 2 or 3 years? Are you able to actually handle that? A king strategist, a servant strategist. Are you one that favors a participative or democratic approach to running your business? You're strong in creating harmony. You're strong in actually delivering the message to the people who work for you. Are you able to think with an open mindset and come up with new ideas that are going to attract customers? All right. You need to have a top-down approach when you start a business, and you need to make a mind from the beginning whether you're going to run a business where you come up with all the ideas, you decide to run it and you run it yourself, or are you going to come up with something where you have people working for you and the employee from the bottom up are able to suggest and give you ideas on how to run the better business and deliver more products to your market. So remember, guys, there is different ways of running the business. There is different ways of running the business, and you need to decide which of these strategies you want to adopt before you decide to run a business. Okay, so let's go on. The breeds of strategies. Are you a king, a servant, an elder, a prince, or a joker strategist? And I want you to read the material I'm giving you today and ask yourself, what sort of strategist I am? So the next Biz Talk, not next week, the week after, when we try to develop a business strategy, you know which type of strategist you are. And that will help me teach you how to develop a business plan. All right, does everybody understand what I've spoken about today? Does everybody understand what I've spoken about today? Yes or no? Put your hands up. So remember, the reason why businesses run into trouble or don't have enough money is not because they don't want to run the business. They're very simple. They either did not plan to run the business, they either lack creativity and their product is nothing new, there's no reason for people to buy it, or they don't have e-commerce power capabilities to meet a larger market audience. They only sell the product through Facebook or Twitter, and Facebook is alone not enough to create a business. If you want to run a small business and you're happy to do that and you don't want to make a lot of money, you're just doing it part-time, Facebook is enough. If you want to grow the business so the business provides you income and you no longer have to work and you have financial freedom, Facebook is not enough alone. So businesses run out of money or they run into financial roadblocks. One, they didn't plan. Two, they're not creative and don't have a product which people want. Three, their pricing is wrong, or the level of service or the type of service they're delivering is not something that customers need. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Can you wave your hands to me? All right, I'm going to take questions. Who would like to ask me a question? Put your hand up. Before I do that, can I ask my co-host, my boss here today, Miss Anu, have you sent everybody the PowerPoint? Have you shared it? Thank you very much. So everybody, if you go to the chat box, my co-host and my administrator for today's session, Miss Anu, can everybody wave to Miss Anu? Come on, everybody wave to Anu. Say, hello, Anu. Very good. I want to see 254 hands. Come on, everybody wave. Let's go. Very good. All right. So what I want you to do, guys, is I want you to download the presentation and go through it. Now, let's take some questions. Okay, I want to hear some questions from all of you. Who has questions for me? Put your hands up. Come on, put your hand up if you have a question. Anybody have a question? Come on, somebody has to talk to me. What about you, Josephine? You have a question for me, Josephine? Where are you, Josephine? Okay, all right, I have a question. Cordelia, go ahead, Cordelia. What's your question? Unmute your
Hello, yeah.
microphone.
I want to
Hi.
ask you. Hi, I want to ask you about business. Business. They got also like trading. Also have just trading.
What sort of trading? You mean buying and selling?
Yes, correct.
Well, of course, that's part of your business strategy.
Yes.
When you buy and
Also-
sell, that's trading. So if you buy the t-shirts from a factory in China and sell them, that's trading. All right. Every business that sells a product is trading. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Then others like what other business? Online business. Like let's say online business like selling items. Then after that, customer buy from there. Is it also business?
Well,
Correct.
no, trading business is where you buy the product and sell it to customers. Isn't that what you're talking about?
No. It's like online business.
Yeah, but online business is where you provide a product and people buy it from you online. Is that right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, that's trading. That's an e-commerce platform. Yes, but
Oh.
for you to do business online, you actually have to have a product, you have to promote it online, and people buy it from you online. Do you understand that?
Yes. I
Yes or
understand.
no?
Yes, I
think,
understand.
okay, so what I think you should do today is download today's PowerPoint, start reading it, and not next week, the following Saturday, I will teach you how to develop your own business plan for the future. Would that help you, Cordelia?
Yeah, sure. Can.
All right,
Problem.
good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, all right, let's talk to somebody else. Who else would like to ask me a question? Yeah, go ahead. Lacey Morales. Hi. Can you unmute your microphone? Hi, how are you? What's
Yes,
your
sir.
question?
Good evening. Sorry,
Good evening.
I just joined it late. So, my question is this: before I have franchise business also in the Philippines. During COVID-19, I earned actually lots of money. It's just that after the COVID, the people started to buy in a like in a physical store. They don't
Okay, but
they don't
Lassie,
like to
I'm
order
going to
anymore
answer that.
online.
I'm going to answer that. The reason they left you is you are no longer competitive. You are no longer attractive. Listen carefully to me. When the customers bought through you during COVID-19, you were an online platform. They had no choice. They had to buy from you because you were providing them what they wanted online. Would you agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
All right. After COVID-19, did you do anything by lowering your price or offering them different products to attract them to still buy from you? No. Why should they buy from you? Because during COVID-19, they paid a higher price. They bought from you because they had no other choice. So unless after COVID-19 you could say, I want you, I respect you, I appreciate your business, thank you for being loyal. Now I'm giving you a customer recognition program. Every time you buy 5 items, I'll give you 10% discount. Or for the next 1 month, I'm offering 10% discount to all my loyal customers because they supported me through COVID. Unless you show them that there's something for them to continue buying from you, then of course they will go to a brick and mortar shop and get it cheaper. You understand that?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, Lacey, it's not because you failed, but what you did is you did not have a plan on how to go after your success. Because you said during COVID, your business was very good. You did a lot of money, right? You made money. And you would agree with me that the reason you made money is because people bought online from you. Am I right or not?
Yes.
All right. So after COVID finished, did you change your pricing? Did you bring in new products? Did you offer them anything to recognize them or attract them to come back to you? No. So why would they keep buying from you? When they buy from you, you charge them delivery. If they go to the shop and they buy it from the shop, they save delivery. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
All
Actually,
right.
sorry, that company is a huge company in the Philippines. It's just that during COVID, people are like they patronize the company because of the free services. So
Right, okay.
and yes, and after the COVID, the people it's normal. So people can easily go to the physical store. No need to order online.
But that's
just like
what
that.
I'm saying. So you need to
Mm.
continue offering them. You need to offer them a benefit to make up for the free services. You need to give them something to attract them to come back, right? So when you gave them the free services before, what you're saying is these free services are you no longer need. Now I'm going to offer you something else that you need that would be better for you than going to a brick and mortar store. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Now, Lacey, I don't know your product or service, but as I said to you, I think last time, if you drop me a message in WhatsApp about what your product or service is privately, I'm happy to give you advice related to your product or service. I can tell you ideas about what you need to win them back. But until I know exactly what your product or service is, I can only answer you generically. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, actually, the product is just frozen foods, just like that, with delivery apps.
Okay, so they were ordering frozen foods from you. Were you offering them free delivery? Was free delivery a choice?
Yes, sometimes, but because
Okay, hold on.
I don't know.
Sometimes, right? The reason people bought frozen food previously is because during COVID-19, they were afraid to go out because during COVID-19, fresh product was rare. So they had to buy frozen. Now you have to change your market. You have to start saying, okay, we not only have frozen, but we have chilled meat, chilled product. We can deliver it to you faster if you no longer want frozen. Or you can offer a fresh product where they order it online and collect it from a local retailer. Let me tell you, Lacey, during COVID, we used to buy frozen meat. The day COVID stopped, I have never bought frozen meat online since. Why? Why should I eat frozen when I can buy fresh product? Do you understand the customer psychology, Lacey?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
it's not because your customers don't want to buy from you, it's because you are not being able to provide them a reason why they should come back now that the brick and mortar store is open. Do you understand what I'm saying, Lassie? Yes or no? Open your microphone. Are you there? Do you understand what
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying, Lassie?
No.
All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to make you do the work now because you want my help. You have my WhatsApp number. Is that right? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay. You can write it down, everyone. Write down my WhatsApp number. If you have any questions about how to run a business, you can WhatsApp me directly. I'll put my WhatsApp number in the chat box. Everybody go to the chat box. Okay, I put my WhatsApp number in the chat box, +65 822 5220. What I want you to do, anybody, if you have a question about running your business, okay, if you have a question about running your business, or if you have a question similar to the one that Lacey is asking about, okay, I want you to ask me, I want you to message me and say, Mr. Wally, I had a business before COVID. This is what I used to sell online. How can I attract my customers to come back to me after COVID? If you have a business or you want to start a business and need help, I want you to message me. So Lassie, this is what your homework is. From now till next week, next Friday, I want you to send me a WhatsApp with 20 ideas that you can think of about how to bring your customers back. Do you understand that, Lassie? I want 20 bullet points, and don't tell me stupid things like reduce the price. Price reduction alone is not enough. I want to hear from you about what can you offer them that will attract them to buy healthy food that's not frozen? Okay. What can you do for them to give them more choices? Can they pick it up? Can they order it online? And can you arrange for them to pick it up from a local store so they can order online today, pick it up tonight? Can you offer them a service where they can order fresh vegetables and you deliver it tomorrow? I want you to come up with 20 new ideas, Lacey. And that could include loyalty. It could include new product, new delivery points, or a different product or service by giving them a different type of product or service that is no longer frozen. Because now, after COVID, no one buys frozen food. And you should know that, Lacey. Will you eat frozen chicken if you can get fresh chicken? Yes or no? Answer my question, Lassie. If you can buy fresh chicken, will you eat frozen chicken?
No, sir. I prefer the fresh.
Okay, so ask yourself that question and tell me, what 20 ideas are you going to take to your customer? And I will help you. Do you understand that, Lacey?
Yes. Sir, I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Actually, the reason why I took second course is because I am living here in Korea, and my dream is to have a guest house. So the reason why I choose hospitality and tourism management is because my goal is to have my own guest house and a proper approach.
Lassie, if you want to start a guest house, I'm happy to work with you to develop a business plan to open a guest house, all right? But listen carefully. I need you to start focusing on some basic questions before my next Biz Talk. And this is really good for you because not next Saturday, the following Saturday, I'm going to teach you the basic plan on how to write a business plan. And I can teach you what to look for in a guest house, all right? But between now and then, I want you to come up with 20 points about your guest house. Why or what is it about your guest house that is gonna make people come to you rather than the one next door to you? Do you understand that? I want you to give me 20 points. And I don't want you to copy what your competitors in Korea are doing. I want you to come up with ideas that no one else is offering. Do you understand that? And then not next week, the week after, when I teach you how to write a business plan, over the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'll help you develop a business plan. Would that help you, Lassie? And I will do that for all of you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're welcome. Does anybody else have a question for Wally? You're welcome, Sisa. It's my pleasure. Thank you for joining BizTalk. Okay, guys. Well, from Wally Rauder, your trainer today, I hope you've learned something. Today was simply to open your eyes as to why you need a business plan. Because if I don't show you that if you don't plan, you run out of money, you lose your investment, none of you care to write a business plan. Okay? So today was to put fear in your blood that before you invest your salary for the last 12 months to open a business, there is a chance you'll lose your money because you'll run out of money because you don't have a business plan and you don't have the right tools to run a business. So I hope you're all aware that companies do run out of money. During COVID-19, more than 100,000 businesses around the world lost their money. They folded. They lost all their investment. Restaurants closed. Families lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because they had no e-platform. They didn't have the money to build a website. They were running their business day to day because when they started the business, they didn't have any money to run the business. Do you understand that? So I want you all to wake up. This was only an introduction to our lesson, not next Saturday. Next Saturday is leadership. The week after that, you're going to learn how to write a business plan so that your business does not run out of money. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands to me if you understand. All right. Okay. Everybody say after me. Unmute your microphone, everyone. Unmute your microphones. Come on. Everybody, unmute your microphones now. including you, Anu, unmute your microphones. Now, unmute. Come on, everyone. Okay. I want everybody to repeat after me. Okay. I can. Everybody say.
I
can. Everybody. I
Can.
can.
I can.
Very much. So I want you to understand that all of you can be successful entrepreneurs. Can everybody mute their microphone again? Mute your microphone, please. Okay, so everybody can be a successful entrepreneur. It's a simple basis of you understanding what it takes to be an entrepreneur and making it happen. And I will show you, not next week, the week after, how to write a business plan to make that happen. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? All right. Thank you for joining me today. Does everybody want to say thank you to Miss Anu, the lady who made today's session possible? Everybody wave your hands to Anu. Thank you, Anu, for being my host today, ma'am. Thank you for allowing me to present today's lesson. To all of you, remember, believe in yourself and you will be successful. Do you all understand that? Yes or no? Don't fear failure. Failure makes you a better business person. Listen carefully. Bill Gates failed. The guy at Amazon lost money before he made money. Okay? The guy that started Apple, Steve Jobs, failed. Failure makes you a better business person. You can do it. And I will show you how to develop a business plan. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you at the next Biz Talk. Not next Saturday, the following Saturday. Goodbye, and God bless you all. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for your comments. Much appreciated. God bless you all. You're welcome, Maricela. You're welcome, Nelson. You're welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Goodbye.